morning, tribe. This is just going to be a quick drop about Big Brother. I'm trying to drop a bunch of videos this morning because I'm going to take these braids out, and then my hair going to be looking like an afro till tomorrow. So I ain't going to be able to come on camera. So I'm about to crank this stuff out so I can make sure I get you guys straight, right? So this is just a real quick drop on Big Brother. I watched Big Brother last night. I know I had gotten behind, but last night was the Power of Veto competition. Bailey had put Brett and Rachel up on the block. Now here's the thing. If you are a Big Brother watcher, here's where people start making their mistakes with Big Brother. Bailey put Rachel up as a pawn. And I know pawns go home. I get that. But not only did Bailey put Rachel up and tell her, look, you are just a pawn, but I also have this power so that I can save you even next week. So I just need you to chill out. I need you to go along with the plan. I need you to just be good. Play for the Power of Veto. And if you win it, cool. Rachel freaks out. She just totally freaks out. She starts crying. First of all, y'all know how I feel about them crying. But she starts crying. And then she goes to Bailey and she starts talking to Bailey about, her feeling sorry for Brett and like basically advocating for Brett because she wants Brett to come off the block. Bitch, you better worry about yourself coming off the block. Like, I understand the alliance piece and all that, but it's too early in the game for all of this. Like, you don't know him like that. Like, you here to win money for yourself. If he on the block next to you and y'all in the same alliance, oh well, you better go out there and campaign and convince them why they should keep you over him. What is wrong with these people? I just want her. I don't want her to put Brett out. I don't want her to evict Brett. Y'all all gonna get evicted at some point. You better just try to stay in the game as long as you can and get to the jury. I mean, you want to win the game, obviously, but if you don't win the game, only one of y'all can do that. So what is wrong? Anyway, so that sort of pissed Bailey off. Then she started pissing other people off because, okay, so here's where stuff gets a little. Okay, before I get to that part, JC, little sneaky ass. Now remember last week, JC did that little mystery vote to throw everybody off. They still ain't figured out who did that. They think it's either Rachel or Scotty, but they have no clue. Then they, when JC didn't go up on the block, Fessy was like, JC, you need to thank me because I'm the reason why you're not on the block because I talked Bailey out of it, blah, 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 blah. And Jay-Z, I keep wanting to call him Jay-Z. JC was like, you ain't do nothing for me. Like, he's not, all he had to say was thanks, good looking out, and keep it moving. But JC got a little attitude, and he's a little arrogant, too, talking about something. Desi hasn't done anything in this game. Shit, Desi's done more than you have. Desi's won, like, 2 power vetoes, and, yeah, Desi's done some stuff in this game. And, he's the one that took Haley off the block last week. Like, he's done some stuff. And he told me, he hasn't done anything, and I'm not going to kiss his butt, and da-da-da-da. So he goes to Bailey and tells Bailey, yeah, Thessie's walking around taking credit, saying that, he's controlling your POV, I mean, your nominations, and he was the one that convinced you not to put me on the block. And so, of course, now Bailey's pissed off because she's like, why you running around acting like you're controlling my head of household? She was like, that's making me look stupid and look weak. So, and that was his whole purpose. He wanted to create that strife. That was his whole purpose for doing it. And he sort of did. I don't think it's going to last long, though. Because, I don't think it's going to last long. So, Rachel has pissed Bailey off, coming to her, doing that whole, but I don't, Then, so Tyler wins the POV. The game, they had to, it was like, instead of Uber, it was Goober, and they had to take a car. They had to build a road through this, like, imaginary town, and then they had to take the car with the 4 house guests that have already been evicted, and, it's like a Fred Flintstone type car, where you control it with your feet or whatever. And whoever did that in the shortest time won. Well, Tyler won. And once again, I say, Tyler, you're stupid, because you didn't really want to be, you wanted to win. See, their ego wants them to win, but their game doesn't think it through. So it would have been best for your game not to win that damn POV. You knew you weren't going on the block as a replacement. Bailey was, you know that. And I get it that once you're in the house, there's some paranoia involved or whatever. But Bailey was like, "You're good." You knew you weren't even on her radar. Like you were, it was clear you weren't even on her radar. So you win the power veto. So now you're in the position that if you Bailey doesn't want you to use it, and Bailey thinks that you're in her corner, even though you're really not. And of course, your alliance wants you to use it because two of your alliance members are on the block. So now you put yourself in a position to expose yourself one way or the other. And you found out so Rachel then told everybody. Well, she told, what's her name, Angie, that Bailey had the power, which of course she wasn't supposed to tell nobody. She tells Angel, don't tell anybody. Of course, Angel tells somebody, and then tells somebody, and tells somebody. The next thing you know, the whole house knows that Bailey has this power. So now Tyler is even a bigger situation because he's like, not only if I use the power, I will piss Bailey off this week, but Bailey also has the power to put me on the block even when she's not POV. I mean, when she's not HOH. So Tyler has to think really hard about exposing his game from that point of view. You should have just not won the damn veto. You should have just let somebody else win the veto because the person with the next highest time, I think, was Bailey. So she would have won the veto and it would have been all good. No, was it Brett? No, it was Brett. Brett had the next highest, lowest time. So then Brett would have been able to take himself off the block. Bailey would have put up her nomination. Everything would have been good. And it wouldn't have been you. She had already told you it wasn't going to be you. Anyway. So, Tyler, once he won the power veto, he was like, I need to make sure that I need to see who Bailey's replacement is going to be before I use it so that I don't use it and then she puts somebody else up that I don't want to get evicted. So he's trying to convince her to use it on Scotty. Somehow or another, Rachel gets it in her head. I mean, Bailey gets it in her head that he wants her to use it on Angela. Now, I don't know if Bailey did this on purpose to cause problems or Bailey really misunderstood what Tyler was trying to do. So Rachel goes downstairs and tells them, Tyler said that, he wants, if he uses the veto, then he wants you to go on the block with me, talking to Angela. So here's the thing. Everybody gets mad at Rachel because they feel like, well, Rachel is lying. Tyler wouldn't really say that. Rachel must be lying. Why is she lying? Why would she want to do this? They don't believe her in any way, shape, or form. So I think they're going to end up voting Angela out because they're all pissed off at Angela and they think she's a liar and they think that she's trying to cause problems and all of this. So poor Angela, you started off as a pawn, but this is how pawns go home. If you would just set your ass down and been quiet and let Bailey do her thing, you might have been all right. But now, I think you might be going home. Then again, the other side of the house will vote the way Bailey wants them to vote. And if they vote to keep Rachel, they may have enough votes. I don't know. This whole voting thing has been crazy this season because it always seems like it's somebody that flips their vote and doesn't vote the way they say they're going to vote. So, we'll see. We will see. We will see. But that was last night. So, tonight we have the eviction. So, we'll see who gets voted out and who gets the new, I guess we'll see who gets the new HOH.